Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls. Welcome back to Black's Movie Recaps. I'm your host, old Nicholas Black, and tonight we delve into a tale so chilling, it's perfect for a night of dread and popcorn. Oh yes, my friends, we're spiraling into the sinister world of House on Haunted Hill. Imagine, if you dare, an invitation. But not just any invitation, a dare from Vincent Price himself. The Grand Master of Horror challenges you to a night in a mansion. A mansion teeming with horrors unspeakable, with a tantalizing offer to any soul brave or foolish enough to endure till the dawn.
In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Since it was built a century ago, 7 people, including my brother, have been murdered in it. Since then, I've owned the house. I've only spent one night there, and when they found me in the morning, I was almost dead.
The stage is set with a mansion, an abode teeming with unspeakable terrors and secrets hidden behind its crumbling walls. But what makes this house so haunted, you ask? First, let's delve into the twisted souls who dare to spend the night there.
This is Lance Schroeder, a test pilot, so no doubt a brave man. But don't you think you can be much braver if you're paid for it? And I happen to know that Lance needs the $10,000 I'll give him, if he's brave enough to stay all night. This is Ruth Bridges. You've no doubt read her column in the newspapers. She says her reason for coming to the party is to write a feature article on ghosts. She's also desperate for money. Gambles. You've already met Watson Pritchard, a man living in mortal fear of a house, and yet he is risking his life to spend another night here. I wonder why. He says for money. This is Dr. David Trent, a psychiatrist. He claims that my ghost will help his work on hysteria. But don't you see a little touch of greed there, around the mouth and eyes? This is Nora Manning. I picked her from the thousands of people who work for me because she needed the $10,000 more than most. Supports her whole family. Isn't she pretty?
5 souls, each with their own veil of mystery, heed this macabre invitation. But this is no ordinary gathering. The mansion itself is a labyrinth of death, where spirits roam free and treacherous traps await the unwary. 5 guests, each intriguing in their own right, venture into this maze of malevolence. Oh, but don't forget Frederick Lauren and his wife, Annabelle, who set this nightmarish snare.
I'm Frederick Lauren, and I've rented the house on Haunted Hill tonight so that my wife can give a party. A haunted house party. She's so amusing. There'll be food and drink and ghosts, and perhaps even a few murders. You're all invited. If any of you will spend the next 12 hours in this house, I'll give you each $10,000, or your next of kin in case you don't survive.
The couple offers these guests $10,000 each if they survive the night. Is their intent benevolent, or something far more sinister? Now allow me to pull back the rotting curtain and unveil the horrors that this cursed mansion bestows upon our guests. Oh yes, the house itself is an actor, a malevolent entity in this theater of dread.
Well, if I were going to haunt anybody, this would certainly be the house I'd do it in.
Secret doors swing open without a touch, and hidden rooms beckon from the darkness, drawing Lance and Nora into a web of fear.
Who closed the door?
This thing's made of solid steel.
And then there's the basement, a place where time stands still around a vat of acid, hungry for flesh and bone.
But yet, wasn't there a man who threw his wife into a wine vat or something?
That was in the cellar. There's been a murder almost every place in this house. All this belonged to a Mr. Norton, who didn't die here. He was electrocuted later. Mr. Norton did a good deal of experimenting with wines, but his wife didn't think it was any good. So he filled the vat with acid and threw her in. She was supposed to stay down, but the bones came up. It's a funny thing, but none of the murders here were just ordinary. Just shooting or stabbing. They've all been sort of wild, violent, different. Look out! God, she didn't fall in.
You mean there's still acid in there?
Destroys everything with hair and flesh. Just leaves the bones.
Nora, the timid guest, finds herself haunted by a ghostly apparition, and later on a rope that seems to take on a life of its own, terrifying her to her very core.
Anywhere? Lance! Lance!
Dr. David Trent finds himself questioning his own expertise on hysteria, as the house seems to laugh at his futile attempts to rationalize the supernatural occurrences.
Well, Doctor, it looks like we have a real case of hysteria on our hands.
I think she's just a little upset, not hysterical.
And let us not forget Watson Pritchard, who grows increasingly unhinged as his drunken warnings of the house's malevolence come gruesomely to life.
Nora? Nora?
Nora? Nora! Nora! know about this?
They've taken her. In a little while, she'll be one of them.
Where's Norton?
Where is she?
It's too late. It's too late. You'll never find her again.
Pritchard, if you know where she is, you better tell me now.
She's gone. She's gone with him. There's nothing you can do about it.
Each guest is toyed with, taunted, as if the house itself digs deep into their psyche, pulling out their deepest fears and parading them like grim trophies. Alliances form and crumble as quickly as the house's decaying walls. Betrayal, secrets, and unsettling discoveries lurk behind every corner. The guests are not merely pawns in a twisted game, they are intricate pieces of a malevolent puzzle that only Dawn's light can solve. When the rooster crows, who remains? And what remains of them? Survivors, victims, or perhaps something in between? House on Haunted Hill is more than a ghost story. It's a psychological thriller, a puppet show orchestrated by a masterful puppeteer. But who pulls the strings?
At last you've got it all. Everything I have. Even my life. But you're not going to live to enjoy it. Come with me, murderess. Come with me.
Ah, that is the question that haunts us long after the credits roll. If you have yet to enter the house on Haunted Hill, let tonight be the night. Click on the link in the comments below. Then lock your doors, check your windows, and steel your nerves, for you're in for a cinematic experience that chills to the bone. Just remember, leave the lights on. Or perhaps, if you dare, off. That's all for tonight's episode of Black's Movie Recaps. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, may your nights be dark and your dreams darker still.